Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 91 of the Battleship Brawl Season 5 tournament. This episode we've got the Mangetout by Hibachi going up against the Big Dark Snake by Burka. I'll go ahead and get the camera in position, and away we go. Sorry if I'm a little loopy and just kind of mentally uncoordinated today. I considered not doing a video, but I've missed too many, so I'm just going to push through it. I didn't sleep very well last night, and we welcomed a new cat into our home today who was previously, we believed to be a stray, so I've been dealing with that today, and I'm just kind of exhausted, but anyway, enough of me whining and complaining about my life, because it's, you know, it's such a horrible life I lead. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very happy. But anyway, yeah, enough of the rambling. That might happen quite a bit because, like I said, mentally uncoordinated. Because tired. Alright, so Snake's at 98.6. Mangetout down to 96%. Those shells heading in for the Snake's head. Is heading in for the head. There's that, mental coordination. None of them managing to hit because the Snake is kind of in a constant turn here. It's turning away from the enemy, and the Mangetout is a lot of things, but a speed demon. I don't think I'd call the Mangetout a speed demon, which means the Snake is in danger of disqualifying itself again. So it is, you know, it's pushing the distance harder than, say, the Gale did from yesterday. But there it goes. There's the DQ timer. It's ticking on up. Oh, also, this will be the Mangetout's final battle, so, after this, you know what to do. Head on over to the Discord. The link to it is down in the description. And you can head on over to the Tournament Polls channel and cast your vote, because that should be up by the time this goes live. Or shortly after, as the past couple of days I've forgotten to do it before making it go live, and then I just did it real quick. Anyway. Yes. Bit loopy. Snake is sort of turning to come back, and I mean, this is 100% not the Mangetout's fault. It's, you know, it's doing its best to catch its opponent. It's just not very fast. So the responsibility for this DQ lies 100% with the Big Dark Snake. Alright. 86.3 in round 1. Kind of hoping that doesn't happen all 3 rounds this time, because while that would make the video quicker, which is kind of a blessing for me, I doubt it's all that much fun to watch. Just the Big Dark Snake turn and run away 3 times and then explode. But I mean, what can I do? I have no control over what these ships do. Ooh, that looked like it might have been a direct hit to one of the APS cannons. Oh, that took out the rudder. The horizontally mounted rudders that keep the Snake level when it's working properly, which are also part of the reason why it got DQ'd, those got taken out with that hit, along with 2 of the 3 guns. I think the rudders have been repaired now. The Snake's head takes a hit. That's a pretty sizable hole. That's a good chunk of Snake blown out. Oh, that's even more sizable chunk. go. Snake is turning away. Yeah, with only the super cavitating Sabo gun underneath here functioning, it's just not doing a whole lot of damage to the Mangetout. Like, I mean, it's doing damage, but when it comes to pure destructive powers, Sabo is not the strongest. It's really good at penetrating things, but when it comes to knocking blocks off of vehicles, I mean, that's why we have like things like HE and Frag. I wonder if the gun here is... No, it doesn't look like it's trying to be rebuilt yet. The Mangetout is keeping enough damage on the Snake that the repair bots aren't getting a chance to work on the damaged APS guns. They're spending all their time trying to rebuild the aim point distraction that is the Snake head. No, this gun isn't firing. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it is definitely interesting seeing those super cavitating rounds functioning. Like, they do their job. Snake is in close for this fight. Ooh, that was a solid shot into the skull of the Snake. Those were not so solid shots. But yeah, that early hit on those guns really helping the Mangetout get some points this round. Assuming it can kill the Snake. Well, I mean, the way the scoring formula works, it'll use the, well, I mean, actually, because the Snake is disqualified, like, completely from the tournament, it's going to be considered sank every round, even if it doesn't, Oh, wow, what the heck happened? Oh, did that underside gun just keep pulling off? It did. The Snake has no weapons left. I do not believe the Mangetout is going to give it the opportunity to repair them, and even if it did, I don't think it has the resources left to do it, so the Mangetout's HP is not going to change. And the Snake is considered 0 HP for scoring purposes in every round, because of its disqualification. So, rather than spend the next 5 minutes just sitting here watching the Mangetout shoot at the Snake and not actually, you know, it not actually make a difference. Like, if the Snake was fighting back, then it could be entertaining, but this is just kind of, you know, fish in a barrel type situation. It's just going to be another 5 minutes of the Snake's head getting confetti, which, I mean, is admittedly cool, but it won't actually make any difference in the outcome of the match, so I'm calling it there. Because there's no way any of the Snake's weapons are going to get functional again, considering how much damage the head is taking, and the repair rate on the Snake is decent, but it's not outdoing the Mangetout's damage. So yeah, 96.2 for the Mangetout here. And that'll be the end of round 2. Move on to round 3. Normally I would let it play out because the Mangetout has to, you know, earn the kill to get the points for it. But since the Snake is disqualified, that requirement doesn't actually exist. So, in the interest of saving myself and everybody else some time, let's move on to round 3, where the snake immediately shoots itself in the back of the head. It has a tendency of doing that. With all 3 of those guns up, the Mangetout takes some pretty heavy damage. Because the snake spends so much time turning and is such a small profile target to hit, the Mangetout really struggles to do any damage to it early on. In the first round I got that lucky hit in that basically destroyed this gun and knocked out the rudders, which messed up its ability to snake's ability to actually move properly. And yeah, I know I said in round 1 I hope that it wasn't just 3 rounds of getting disqualified, but I also don't want 3 rounds of only one ship shooting at the other one and that's it. That's not really any better. But it's definitely looking like this is going to be another DQ round for the snake. We will see here in a moment. Well, in about 50 seconds. 50 moments. And with this last match finishing, we are done with Group 6, and we'll be moving on to the 7th and final group of the regular season phase. And then once we finish with Group 7, we'll move on to the Challenger phase. And then after that, we've got the Grand Finals. Oh, look at that. The snake's rebuilding this cannon. Too bad, oh! It closed the distance with 5 seconds left. I was going to say too bad it's too little too late, but then all of a sudden the timer stopped ticking up. Oh, 1 barrel on this cannon is functioning. Oh yeah, it's not going to have enough materials to fully rebuild it though. Kind of a waste. Well, I'm glad that there was only 1 round where the snake basically just instantly DQ'd itself. But if the snake does that again, it'll very quickly DQ. And it is kind of true at this point, it's impossible for the Mangetout to change its score from what it's going to be. Like, this round is totally just not going to matter. It's not going to do anything to its score. But since they're both still shooting at each other and it's kind of entertaining, I'm going to let it keep going for now. Oh, and this gun blew up again. It must have been a misfire, like, because it didn't have proper barrels and things, it must have blown itself up. Because there's no reason why this gun would have shot rearwards. Mangetout's down to 77%. It's pretty banged up. But it's turning away again. And it is not likely to be able to make that full turnaround without gaining 5 seconds of DQ time based on its previous performances. But, you know, it could happen. It's actually not getting that far away. Mangetout's kind of keeping the distance close. that is a substantial hole. I kind of like how it's just, you know, they penetrated in there deep enough and then detonated that the entrance wound is not that big, but the hole inside is rather large. It's just kind of cool to see that. You don't get to see that sort of thing a whole lot because you generally don't see vehicles made completely out of solid blocks. It is unusual. Super Cav gun's still firing. This gun has stopped firing for some reason. I don't know if the snake is out of ammo or what. Ooh, we've got a ram situation. Which, honestly, I think the Mangetout's probably going to come out better from that sort of thing. Because, yeah, look at that. The snake is getting torn up because it's basically just wood and reinforced wood. No, actually, up here on the head, it's just all wood. Normally, this thing's lifted up a little higher. It doesn't quite touch the water. But because of damage, it is now touching. We've got the classic collision damage slowdown going on, though. Which has been a problem that has plagued this game since I started playing it. Though, admittedly, I think it used to be worse. Like, it does deal with it better now. Like, it used to just freeze the game. Like, instead of getting very slow frame advances, it would just freeze and then suddenly jump forward. And then freeze and then suddenly jump forward. And then freeze and probably crash. But yeah, I do wish that collision damage could be less laggy. Alright, since the entertainment value of this episode has dropped significantly and the outcome of it isn't going to change anything, I'm going to go ahead and stop it and call it here. Because I don't think any of us want to spend the next 2 minutes watching these ships rub up against each other to no effect. You know, it's one thing when they're blowing each other up and providing some entertainment value, but I mean, it literally doesn't, like, it's 68.3, fine. Like, it doesn't change the Mangetout score, because it got a 96.2. Anything less than 96.2 means it doesn't affect the score. So yeah, there's no reason to keep this going. It'd just be a waste of everybody's time. So, we're going to go ahead and call the episode here. Like I said before, the Mangetout is retiring. This is the last Group 6 battle. We'll be moving on to Group 7 in the next episode. And, yeah, thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.